What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be a full face of makeup for under $5 each. So every single thing I'm using today is under the $5 mark. And originally I was gonna call this video testing makeup from Dollar General and have everything I'm using be from one store. And I don't know about you guys, but in Kentucky, there are seriously like 10 Dollar Generals in every town. There's one on every corner, every block. They're rampant. It's crazy. They're taking over. But I couldn't make a full face from what I had, so I decided to branch out and just make everything be under $5. But I will say most of what I'm using is from Dollar General, but we got some stuff from ULTA, from Walmart. So if you guys want to see how to get what I'm wearing right now, then please keep watching. You guys recommended to me to try these LA Colors single eyeshadows, which are 50 cents at the Dollar General, at the old DG. So I did pick up 6 of them, and I have some mattes. They have mattes. I think they have shimmers, they have metallics. And then I also got the LA Colors nude eyeshadow palette. So here's what that looks like. You've got mattes and shimmers in here. So I thought this looked like a pretty good deal. But I wanted to show you guys a couple of different options that I've talked about before on my channel, because these are gems. So even if these things I'm gonna try out today don't work out, these work really, really well. So this is the LA Colors 16 color eyeshadow palette in the shade Sweet. Yeah, that's all it's called. So these are all shimmery shades. The packaging sucks, but this is only like $3, and I'll have everything linked below with prices and stuff. Now, I will say a lot of this stuff from the DG, you can only find in stores, so you probably won't be able to find a lot of this online, unless you find like Amazon or something like that. But here's what this palette looks like, and these are so beautiful. They're so pigmented and creamy and just soft. They're easy to work with. And then another one that I've talked about before, I think I titled the video like $2 eyeshadow palette, oh my god, or something like that. This is another LA Colors one. This is the Glam palette 18 color eyeshadow, and this one's called Downtown Brown. So the only thing I don't like about this one is that the pans are so small, it's really hard to get like a fluffy brush in there. The shimmers in here are amazing. I feel like LA Colors does shimmers really, really well. The mattes are pretty good too. It's not that they're not workable, but the shimmers are where it's at. Like these taupey, like gray shades in here. Oh, so pretty. So again, that one's $2. Moving on to eyeshadow primer. So I don't actually have one from the Dollar General, but the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer, I'm pretty sure that one's sold there. So, and that one's under like $4, $4 or $5 as well. It's really, really good. It comes in a tube. It's pretty much just like the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. But these are from Essence Cosmetics, which is sold at Ulta. They are under $5. In fact, I think they're like $3 or $4. But the one I use today is the Essence I Love Color Intensifying eyeshadow base. This one's more of a pinky white base, so it's going to make your eyeshadows pop a little bit more, kind of make them a little bit more bright. This does kind of add some concealing properties as well. It's just more of like a wider concealer. So let's go through the single eyeshadows first, just so you know what each one of them looks like. So the first one I have is a matte shade. This is called Forbidden, and this is a beautiful red toned, like rusty brown shade. The next matte I have is in the shade Foxy. Now, as you can see, this is just a nice, like, neutral tannish brown shade. This will be perfect for the transition or the crease. The next matte shade I have is in the shade Secret. So this is just a cool toned, kind of like a muted lavender purple. And then another matte shade I have, God, I pretty much got all matte shades. I have the shade Whisper, which is just a kind of like a baby pink. And then I got French Vanilla, which is just your typical skin tone, flesh tone color. So first I'm gonna go into French Vanilla and just use this to set my eye primer. And this one seems to be pretty pigmented. It did set pretty well. But I will say across the board, just from what I've tried with the singles, they aren't super pigmented or super buttery. They're a little bit drier. So now I'm gonna go into Whisper, which is that light baby pink. I'm gonna use this in the crease. And I don't know how much this one's going to show up. Again, this one isn't super pigmented either. I just don't know if it'll really ever show up a whole lot on my skin tone. But I will say it does blend out pretty nice. It's not patchy or uneven or anything. Okay, so I don't really have any direction for what kind of look I'm going to go with today. I think I'm just going to like throw them all on and just use as many as possible, because that's what a testing video is. It doesn't have to look good. I'm going to go into the shade Foxy, which is that tan matte transition shade. Okay, so that's about 6 layers of the tan shade, and it does show up. It's just really, really lightly pigmented. So I just don't know. Again, there's no issues with blendability or anything. Like, it does blend out really nice, and it looks nice on the lids. Like, it doesn't look like a cheap eyeshadow. So just to kind of go back and forth, I'm gonna go into the palette now, and this one looks pretty similar. This lid shade right here looks pretty similar to what we just used. And I'm gonna put this in the crease on the other side. And I did use this palette the other day, but I didn't really use it a whole lot. And again, I wasn't really paying too much attention to how it worked, but it didn't seem to be the best. It just doesn't seem to build up very well. But I really do want to go in with Forbidden in the single eyeshadow. And I may go in with this shade right here in the palette, this crease shade right here, because it looks kind of like it. It's not as deep. Actually, you know what? Let's just go with the crease shade, because it's a little bit lighter than the Forbidden single eyeshadow, so we can kind of build it up a little bit. So let's just go ahead and put that shade right in the outer V on both sides. So that shade kind of sucks. The palette's not looking too good right now. So we're going to go into the single shadow Forbidden now. We're going to put that in the exact same place. And I will say these are a bit more powdery. You can definitely tell that there's a different formula. Oh, come on. But this shade is building up. Like, I'm finally starting to see it like 10 layers later. But, oh yeah, look at that. Look at that red. So just to top that off and just to keep this red theme going on, I do want to go into the palette in this shade right here, which is pretty much a shimmery version of what we just used. And I just want to see if it adds a little bit of something. Now this one is really powdery and flaky, and it looks kind of dry in the pan. Okay, so this shade is doing nothing. Okay, so there's what we've got so far. We got some fallout, and I'm not really seeing anything that I want to put on the lid, like a shimmery shade, because there are two highlighty type shades in here, but I just swatched them and they look really gross. Ooh. I'm gonna go back to that sweet eyeshadow palette with all the shimmers. I might take this really pretty rose gold. I think I'm gonna use that all over the lid, and I think I'm gonna wet it as well. Ooh, that is pretty, and it brought it all together. Okay, so I don't really have any eyeliners that are under $5, so I'm gonna go into this crease shade right here in the palette, which is, it's not really black, it's kind of like a grayish purpley shade. I don't know, is that gonna look good? Probably not. Okay, so I'm seeing a little bit of definition there at the lash root, so I think that's enough to get me to mascara. We'll wipe off this stuff later, but I'm gonna use the Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Curl and Hold Mascara. This isn't at Dollar General, it's at Ulta, but it's $4.99, so it's a really fluffy brush. Essence does mascaras really, really well, and when I first started using this one, I didn't like it because I felt like it was just way too wet. But with most Essence mascaras, they start out really wet, but after like a week, they dry out a little bit and they become amazing. I don't think it's as good as my Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume. This is my go-to favorite. Okay, so moving on to brow. So I did get a brow pomade from Essence yesterday. I haven't tried it. This is the Essence Eyebrow Gel Color and Shade. This is $3.99 at Ulta. There's only two shades. There's a blonde and like a brunette. So I got the blonde shade, and it looks like it's a pretty good like cool tone taupey shade. Hopefully it doesn't wash my eyebrows out. Okay, so it's not really showing up, and I haven't. Oh, that's what it looks like when you swatch it. Okay, a pomade should not be sheer. Let's. Oh my God, what is that? Where is it? Oh, Essence, you doing me dirty. So it did add a little bit of color finally. I did try to build it up, and I really tried to make it work because I don't want to just like slap this on if it doesn't work the first time. Oh, I'm giving up. But I mean, it definitely did add some color, and it did fill in this portion of my brow. Like if you have to go on the skin, it just doesn't work for some reason. But I found one of the best foundations that I've ever tried, and it's $4. This is the LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation. I got the shade Natural and the shade Soft Beige. So Natural is just a little bit lighter. You can get full coverage out of this. It builds up miraculously well. It does give, I would say, like a natural or like a soft matte finish. The way this wears is crazy. For Memorial Day, I went and I was outside all day. It was really, really hot. It was in the 90s. It was like the hottest day that we've had so far. I was sweating. I was out in the sun all day long. And by the time I got home, like I think I put this on at like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and I got home at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I probably wore it till midnight that night. And my foundation looked the exact same way when I took it off as it did when I applied it. Okay, so there's the foundation. As you can see, it is full coverage. It has the most beautiful like moussey airbrush finish. It just looks so nice on my skin. So moving on to some cream products. So I have a concealer, a blush, and a bronzer, all from Wet n Wild. You can find these at the Dollar General. So these are the Mega Glow, what are they called? Mega Glow makeup sticks. So I have the concealer in the shade 807 Follow Your Bisque. I have the bronzer in the shade Oaks on You, and then the blush in the shade Peach Bums. So the concealer, again, this is the shade Follow Your Bisque. I think this is a lot of shade. The shade selection sucks. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is pretty good coverage. Like I consider this to be full coverage. Is it my favorite product? No. It's just one of those things that it just doesn't get hype, so you think that's because it's not good, but it's really actually good product. Moving on to the bronzer. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the areas where I usually apply bronzer. As you can see, it blends out so fast. Like it's so effortless. It doesn't pull, it doesn't tug. It's not hard to work with or anything. It's pretty foolproof. Moving on to the blush. Again, this is the shade Peach Bums. And this is pretty much the exact same shade as like NARS Orgasm. It's that beautiful kind of rosy, peachy tone. It's got a little bit of like a golden sheen to it. It blends out, like they all blend out so nicely. I'm just gonna use the same brush. And it just looks so natural on the skin. It just looks really nice and glowy, but just natural, not too dewy or greasy or oily or anything. I don't have a setting powder to show you guys today, so I'm gonna go off camera and do that, and then I'll come back and we'll do some more products. So I picked up this Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Mascara, which is one of those like tight lining mascaras. That's what they used to be known as. It's just got a really, really tiny little brush. This was on a bunch of articles that were recommending lower lash mascaras. Number one, it's got little fibery looking things in it, so it may irritate your eyes if you use it on the top lash line, but the number one thing I don't like about it is that it's so dry. Like, it's like there's no product in here. Okay, so there's the lower lashes, and today it actually worked a lot better than what it has before, and I think the reason why is because yesterday I actually used the wand and I mixed it into another tube of mascara, like one that I actually do like that's not super dry, and it worked really well because I love the wand. Like, the shape is perfect for the lower lashes. It's just the formula. Maybe this tube is just dried up. I'm not really sure. So moving on to powder blush. This is the LA Colors Rad Rouge blush in the shade Awesome. They do have like 3 or 4 different shades. These are $3. The only thing I don't like about it is that the packaging sucks. Like, that's as far as it goes, so I can't open it up anymore. But this is a matte blush, and you can only find these in stores. You can't find these online. But when I first started using it, I didn't like it. Every time I used it, it would be really patchy and uneven and just wouldn't blend out. But then I figured out it's because of the brush. I was using just a regular angled blush brush like this. It just wasn't working with that. So I found that using a brush like this, that's a little bit more, this is a dome shaped brush. This is the Morphe B47. It's just a little bit more fluffy, and maybe it's just the hairs. I don't really know, but this makes it look really, really nice. It gives a really nice soft focused airbrush look. As you can see, it just blends out really nicely with this brush. There is no blending issues or anything, so it may be because this is a natural hairbrush and the other one's synthetic. I'm not really sure, but this is one of those that's pretty pigmented, so you can go overboard pretty fast. So start out with a light hand. Moving on to highlighter, which I think you guys will be pretty excited about. So this is the LA Colors Strobing Powder. This is the shade Champagne, but this one looks just like the Balm's Mary Luminizer. It's that beautiful, like, very universal, it's just a basic champagne. I will say it's very frosty, it's very shimmery. If you have a lot of texture or acne, you may find this to be emphasizing of that stuff. And so look at that, it's just so glowy and so dewy. Yeah, this is definitely a gem. So moving on to the last thing I had to show you guys. I'm not gonna do lips today just because I just don't want to. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray. I've also talked about this a lot, but this is under $5. This is actually like right at $5 at the Dollar General. Oh wait, hold on. One second. Improves the wear of your makeup. It makes everything kind of settle in and just removes cakiness and stuff. So I'm just going to apply whatever lipstick I have next to me. This is the NYX Butter Lipstick in the shade Pops. Oh my god, these are actually less than $5 as well. So at Walgreens it says $4.87. At Target it says $3.29. So oh my god, we got us a lipstick as well. I didn't even plan on that. Now, I will say this isn't the best lipstick formula. I mean, it's really comfortable and it's really hydrating and stuff, but it's not long wearing at all. This is something that feels more like a lip balm, or it wears like a lip balm. Alright guys, so here's my full face of makeup for under $5 each. And I gotta say, I'm extremely impressed with the face products. The face products are where it's at for sure. If you found any hidden gems, whether it be at Dollar General or Ulta, Walmart, Walgreens, wherever, let us all know in the comments below and share the wealth. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see more like it. And subscribe to my channel. I have a little button right down there, and hit the notification bell while you're at it. And once you hit it, make sure you comment below #PartyPeople to let me know you're part of the Party People squad. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah.